Salute. Al Gibulan PBO Goon, that's interesting podcast. Check out their YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, comment, hit that button. Oh yeah, and share. Somebody asked me, what brings on my stages of sadness or depression, if you want to call it that. Because I think we all go through those moments. But for me, I'm 41 years old. I went to prison when I was 18 years old. I got out at 40. I was a robber, a drug dealer. I was the definition of a street nigga. Now, I become who I am. I become who I've always been, but I nurtured it. I saw it through. And there's still some struggles, some challenges that I got to see through. I think the only thing that makes it hard sometimes is when I think of how quick it was for me to gain illicit things or gain things doing illicit behaviors. But now, standing erect, I go through dramas and traumas that I never experienced when I was living hunched over. And I'm working now towards shit that I should have had when I was in my 20s. So it's like a 20-year-old me is being despised or looked down on by a 41-year-old me, because the 41-year-old me is like, look at what you got us in. You got us starting from scratch when we already could have been up. But then I find content and happiness and peace, alafia, hotep. When I look at the realities of who I was then and who I am now and the realities of what I could have been then, I went to prison, I could have went to a grave. I went to prison, I affected people, I affected myself. I evolved myself, I assisted in involving other people, I nurtured myself, I nurtured other people. I nurtured my family. That's something that if I wouldn't have went through that experience, I would have never been able to do that. I would have never been able to be who I am now, who I stand before you as, who I'm evolving into. Because I never would have took it serious enough until it was too late. It just so happens that by the grace of our ancestors, the too late for me was just a confinement. And that confinement became my university. And that university became my elevation. So I entered as Haru Picard and exited as Haru And I'm becoming more Ra every day, more Ra every day. You see what I'm saying? I'm journeying back up that ladder of divinity, back into my higher self. Even though I've gained a state of higher self, I'm still traveling into another state of higher self. And yeah, I get tired of sometimes struggling financially because I'm starting over. I'm starting from nothing. And some of those struggles financially have cost me. I've lost. I'm not lost, but I've lost. But I guess this is all part of the process. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things that I didn't experience, and in order to become whole, I have to experience it. Heartbreak, I got to experience it. Losses, I got to experience it. You know, struggles out here in this world as an adult, I got to experience it. You know, I guess that's that Yahshua being crucified. Yahshua in the biblical stories never wanted to go through what he went through. But in order to become who he needed to be for the people as well as for himself, to fulfill his fate, to fulfill his purpose, he had to go through it. So this is my crucifixion stage. As long as I ain't being crucified upside down, you know what I'm saying? I'm good with that. Yeah. So the struggles, I embrace them. The sufferation, I embrace that, because in sufferation and struggle, that's where you find your character. In the pain organization, we have a thing that we say where we say, for one, pain means the power of an intelligent nation, or the power of Al-Qabila's intelligent nation. Because through our pain, through our struggles, through our sufferation, we find our power. We are only placed in circumstances that we are either meant to endure or we are capable of enduring. And the stronger of us survive through these situations, because then we become examples in living. We begin to live for those who couldn't do it. And it also shows us the science of strength and weakness, the balance. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the future. I'm looking forward to what's to come. Greatness is on the horizon. Within the next 365 days, greatness is coming. It's already here. We're just claiming this shit and putting together the foundation. So this way, when we start bringing this shit over here, it ain't on slippery or sandy grounds, you know what I'm saying, or muddy grounds. It's on a solid foundation, because you can't build all the way up and then come back down and fix the foundation. You got to have foundation on fleek from the get-go. You got to have foundation on divinity from the get-go. You got to have a foundation on Ma'at from the get-go. You can't build a foundation on part Ma'at, part Isfat, and then come back down later on realizing that the Isfat ain't working because it done grew weeds within the flowers. So you got to build it great from the beginning. And that's what we're doing right now. And it's just a struggle. You know, it's a struggle to build greatness from the beginning. I love y'all. Alafia Farana. Salute.